Welcome to sunny New South Wales. Welcome to Tassieboy's Prospecting. I'm Levi Triffett.
Oh, yeah, you know, look at that. Luke's just got himself a nugget straight out of the back. There we go.
I'm going to take you in a beautiful river I found in northern New South Wales. And yeah, I hope I can, I've lost it.
Welcome out to sunny New South Wales. I'm meeting up with prospector and fellow YouTuber Luke Morgan to head into the more remote parts of New South Wales on an exciting new adventure into an area where Luke has sniped some insane gold over the past couple of years.
G'day, my name is Luke Morgan. I run a channel called Where's Winks and I like to teach people how to snipe for gold. So I've got someone here today who's keen to learn.
G'day folks, how are you all doing today?
He's a bit of an amateur, but you know, I think with a bit of work I can show him a few techniques and he might get a bit of gold, and he's here to learn.
I've never been underwater with a mask and snorkel. And righto, so you've just met Luke, a new mate I've just made up here in New South Wales, and he's going to take me out on his beautiful river here. It's a bigger river than I've ever sniped before, so it's going to be a whole new game for me. I'm going to need his help with this one, I feel. We've been talking last night around camp. We got in late last night, and he does a lot of bedrock breaking, and apparently he reckons I'm not doing it right because I'm not breaking bedrock. But
teach you a thing or two today.
I might learn a thing or two. But yeah, I'm very, very, very keen to see how it all happens here in New South Wales.
As soon as I landed myself in the water, I was greeted by an amazing turtle. I couldn't believe my eyes. My youngest son Hudson's favourite animal is turtles, and I was sure that one day I would bring my family back here, gold or no gold. Luke was straight into a crevice that he and a mate had started working. This was an opportunity for me to introduce Luke to a shovel.
My suit's just filling up with water. Luke's just got himself a nugget straight out of the back. That's nuts. That's chunky.
2 minutes.
Wow. Wow.
Nice start.
Yeah, it's a good start, man. You're one up on me. I better get to work, eh? Woohoo.
Luke was now one up on me. I had a reputation to keep. How could I allow my viewers to see this New South Wales chum show me up? The first difference that I was noticing with this new river of Luke's is that the tight-packed rocks are just that, super tight-packed, and I found myself earning every rock that I moved. If you've enjoyed today's video so far, please hit that like button for me and drop a comment below so that YouTube can help recommend it to others. Eventually I'd landed my first piece of gold.
Chunk of gold.
And I had to boast about it, because I had to earn it.
Better get my snuffer.
There were some strange critters in this river, things that I'd never seen before. This one was some type of freshwater prawn, very similar to the ones in the ocean.
Sort of going like that at home, that would be real good. You kind of want it like that, and then it just drops off. Just need a good base for it, like a good bottom.
I'd landed myself a couple of nice chunky pieces of gold, but figuring out this bedrock was such a new experience.
Looks like it might continue too, Mike.
Might be something.
There were definitely some similarities as well. Just like home, 9 times out of 10, the gold will stop on anything that's clay-based. And in this river, you have to find that in the base of the crevices. On this clay-based crevice, I was on the gold and it was a great feeling.
Feels better. Feels better to be on it.
There are obvious big signs of gaping big crevices that Luke had worked in the past, and I could only think of those nuggets that would have come from such good hideouts.
Just making our way down through this rapid section, very hard geology and rounded bedrock. Luke's saying he hasn't had a lot of success through here, but I've just asked him if I could have a look over it because I'm curious, like just to test out all new ground and in a different part of the country. For me, it's really exciting.
The other cool thing that I come across was these giant eels. We get plenty of eels at home, but I don't know if I've ever seen one this big.
Yeah.
I absolutely love animals and critters, and I tend to want to touch them and get near to them at any chance I get. But something tells me that one day this will come back to bite me. I didn't mean this guy any harm, but he certainly wasn't interested in me. Eventually I found this nice looking crack in the bedrock. The rocks were super tight packed once again, so I knew that I was onto something that may lead me to more gold. I did find a couple of nice pieces in there, but that was it. My next spot was what I originally thought was a huge big crevice, but on a closer inspection it turned out to be a ledge with a giant boulder sitting behind. It was giving up a lot of nice pieces of gold, but they weren't as chunky as the ones that we'd found previously.
Righto, I've just geared the Nemo up. This is what Luke calls his honey hole, but he has done a lot of work here, so we'll see how we go.
Almost immediately I noticed something wasn't right with my compressor. The regulator was letting large amounts of water in when I'd breathe, so I quickly had a look at the ground that Luke was working, and then it was game over for me. There was no way that I could use the unit like this and breathe underwater.
Alright, so I've just had a quick go on the Nemo, went over to see how Luke was doing, and I was just absolutely struggling for air. I think something's going on with the reg, with the mouthpiece. Every time I'm underwater, it just seems to be letting water in with the air, and I'm getting water in my lungs and having to come to the surface and cough it back up. So I'm super disappointed because that means I'm not going to be able to jump in with him in this good spot and snipe. Means I got to go back up to the shallows, and he was saying that this river's had a lot of work from people working the shallows. It's not a river that's unknown of, so I'm going to head back up, see what I can scratch out, and no doubt he's going to enjoy himself down here cleaning up. What a disappointment. I mean, it's pumping okay, but I just cannot breathe through it.
It was back to the shallow ground that I could work. The first stop was that large ledge where I was finding gold before. It took me a long time, but I managed to find this nice little ledge that didn't look like anyone had gotten into it. It wasn't much of a trap, but down in the base was one nice little chunky picker. A few moments later, a storm rolled in and we decided to call it quits for the day.
What was that, mate? Welcome to sunny New South Wales.
Lovely stuff.
This was an awesome experience for me because in Tasmania we don't get too many tropical storms. We only get the odd occasional thunderstorm with lightning.
We're on 120 frames. Now there's hail. The big reveal. I don't want to see what you got. I saw the ground you were working and it looked bloody amazing.
It's not that much. It all come right at the end. It's really, that's probably not as big as it was underwater again.
Thought it was a gram. Is that one you thought was a gram?
That's what I thought was a gram, but it's definitely
pretty
not.
chunky. Yeah, it'll go.
It was about at this point that I realised I'd left my camera in slow motion to try and capture that thunderstorm earlier on. Luke had had a pretty successful day, although he was a little disappointed that he hadn't found a bigger nugget. This river of his is certainly renowned for its bigger nuggets. Between the two of us, there were certainly some nice chunky pickers found, and this was only day one.
Oh, yeah, you know, look at that.
Yep, and unfortunately Luke fell for the slow motion setting as well. We'd had a very similar day on the Gold, and it was extremely hard to tell who'd done better than the other. There was certainly a lot of banter and rivalry around camp between New South Wales and Tasmania.
They are very similar, aren't they? You might have more, I think.
Might have got you.
Might have got me just. The only thing is going to
Those three are beefy, but then you've got that one, that one, that one, and that one. Got the four. I've only got the little surfboard as my fourth.
a bit more fines.
Yeah.
Well, you got all the stuff in the middle.
But then my three are pretty big, so...
Yeah. Well, I've got the 3-point scarlet home, so we can sort it out down to the 3 decimal places.
Don't even know why we need a fire, but anyway.
Because it's freezing cold. It's like 30 degrees or something.
It's the first time I've walked away from a fire and gone, that was weird, it's still warm. The whole night.
You've done that, have you?
Yeah, I've done it so it does the whole night.
This one no moon, or you and get like your clouds and all.
Got like a half moon, really bright stars, and it works perfect.
And an odd cloud don't hurt either, does it, when it comes across?
No, that's right. We're on 120 frames.
We woke up to the most incredible day. It was a prospector's oasis, and we wasted no time in jumping into the river. It was another location less worked by Luke and his mate Dylan, so there was a good chance that there might be some nuggets still hiding away. Another thing that I've never encountered before was what appeared to be grass growing in the crevices.
Some sort of old knife or chisel or something. It doesn't look like it ever had a sharp blade on it. What is that, folks? I've never seen anything like that. Some sort of chisel. It's been hammered with a hammer. Bit of a different shape to what I'm used to.
I was loving my new environment. The warm water, the cool critters, the old relics, and of course, the new gold.
Got a piece. Almost can't believe my eyes. Time to get out the snuffer.
This little crevice continued to give up good gold, but I was after something bigger, something more nugget-like. The other issue I was having was this grass. It was kind of like weeding a garden. You had to remove it, otherwise you had poor visibility. And then there was this location. That location that absolutely takes you by surprise. It started out as a jagged little crevice under a waterfall, but as things progressed, well, things progressed. There was awesome gold all through this crevice, and I knew something else could show up at any moment. It continued giving up good little pickers. This one required me to lengthen up the snuffer tube. I began breaking away chunks of bedrock, just as Luke had suggested earlier, and lo and behold, a nice little nugget appeared. I have absolutely no idea what I just said. Maybe you guys could help me out with that. I was at war with these freshwater shrimp. The curious little critters kept invading my gold, and I'm sure if I turned my back on them, they would have taken it. There was definitely a trend in this area, and the gold seemed to be getting just a little bit bigger each time.
Yeah, I haven't plucked it out, but it's pretty decent.
The lads were excited. After a couple of days of hard slog, Levi had stumbled across a nice good-sized nugget.
What a cool piece!
What a cool, and that just makes it good that you've got something good to show for a day.
Yeah.
That's easy, 2
It's a
grams.
nice piece.
That's more than 2 grams.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be.
I'm so glad you got
Thanks, man.
it. So glad you got a good piece.
Yes. Well, there's nuggety gold here, mate. Righto.
It was a great feeling for both of us to see this river give up another awesome gold nugget, and another part of the river for Luke to have a closer inspection in the future. This little waterfall had changed our day, and it continued to give up nice pieces. I went to see how Luke was doing, and he was having a good time as well, and he pulled out a nice chunk of nature's treasure just as I arrived.
It always looks awesome stuck in a crack, eh?
Luke had to take off early for other responsibilities,
See you soon. Alright.
and I was left on my own in another beautiful, enchanting river in Australia. I feel very fortunate to have these experiences, the experiences that keep your heart and soul full. But it wasn't all easy sunny going work. As mentioned earlier, every crevice was super tight packed, and the gold found beneath was well earned. hadn't really eaten much all day. And I eventually realised that that pesky little gold thief would make a tasty meal. After a quick snack, it was back to work and I landed these nice little pickers. It had been a successful day, and when Luke left, he requested that I leave some gold in the river. So it was time to call it a day and catch up with Luke back at home.
Firstly, a massive thank you to Luke and his wife for having me out. It was awesome to meet your family. You guys fed me, sheltered me, and Luke taking me out on your river. What an awesome experience that was. Seeing all the new critters, the turtles, the giant eels. If you guys could check out Luke's channel, I know he'd be appreciative. It's Where's Winks on YouTube. I'll leave a link in the description below. He has fresh content coming out every week, and I know you guys are going to enjoy it. We'll now have a look at the gold that we collected over the 2 days camped out on the river and see how we did.
This gold amazes me how similar it is to the stuff we have here in Tassie. It's a lot like home, very water worn, shiny, got a nice lustre about it. I love the little triangular bits as well, really cool pieces, quite unique. I think I'm going to name this one the feather nugget. To me it looks a lot like a feather. Not sure if you can see it or not. Weigh up those bigger pieces. Good chunks of gold, 0.4, 0.3. Another 0.4, exactly the same as the other one. 0.2 for the little flat triangle. We'll put this big one on. I already know the weight of this one. Luke was pretty keen to get it on the scales once we got home. We're both pretty much on the money. We both said around 2 grams, so we're pretty spot on there. Okay, and the total now, this is for the 2 days. Keep in mind, we have just under 6 grams of gold. Fantastic result. And now to have a look at some of the gold that Luke's collected over the past couple of years. So these are some of your better nuggets you got here, mate.
Yeah, this is the ones I put aside that I find.
A lot of hard work's gone into these, no doubt.
No doubt.
Over how many years this collection?
Well, this is probably only 2 years, maybe.
2 years?
2 years, but most of the gold we find, like yours, is fine gold, and I just put aside some of the bigger bits.
I love that big one, your biggest one. Absolute character piece, isn't
I
it?
love it too. And this one's going to go to my daughter.
Yep.
It's going to be a family heirloom. Out of any, if I'm never going to sell a bit of gold, it's not going to be that one, because that's even if I replace it when it's bigger, you know, that's hers. She's been promised it, and she said she's going to give it to her daughter, and hopefully she gives it to her daughter, and
hopefully it goes through the ages.
And out of all my gold,
you'll be remembered, mate, for that nice prospecting that you did.
Yeah, and hopefully the great grandkids are doing school projects on great granddad Luke, who passed away, and he used to go find gold, and you know, they were to bring up my videos.
There'll be plenty of stories to be told. Yeah. And it's going to be a funny time, isn't it, when you know our great grandkids are there and might still be able to watch their great grandfather
and that's what I think of that
prospecting for gold. It's a new.
Oh, something I should talk about. Actually, my granddad was a gold fossicker.
Okay.
And I used to get on really well with him, but I wasn't into it before he passed away, and I really sort of wish.
Yep.
I wish my wife's calling. Thanks. That's.
9 grammer.
And I like it how it's got the little bits of quartz stuck in it, and it's got a bit of character to it.
Yep.
This one, and which one was it? Maybe that one. Mm-hmm. They're all about this far away from each other in the same crack.
Wow.
So.
And they're like what, 2 or 3 grammars, aren't they?
I think that's 2. Yeah, they're all above 2. That's 2.4. That's 2.8, and here we go. 2.3. So there was 9.1.
9 grams in
just
one crevice.
all like that. Yeah, it was really full on.
Bit of a moment for you, no doubt.
Bit of a moment. 18 for the day, so half my gold in 3 nuggets for that day. That was
Wow.
pretty good.
If you've enjoyed today's video, guys, please give it a like for me. Drop some comments below. It helps YouTube recognize that you've enjoyed it, and then they recommend it to others. Also, make sure you check out Luke's channel, Where's Winks, on YouTube. Link in the description below. But until the next one, happy hunting and bye for now.